Hi, welcome back, artists. I am MV Moran. I'm your teaching artist today again. You can call me Mrs. Moran. And I'm so excited to be back for lesson 4 because I brought some special guests. I'm going to wait to tell you what we're going to do after we do our mindfulness and our warm-up. But I'm super excited to be here today. So I would like us to get started. Now remember, before I go into the studio, I get my mind and my body ready for art. And how I do that is taking some time to be mindful. And I call this mindfulness, or I call this my breathing exercise. So I would like you to sit in a chair. A table could be in front of you. That's great. Or you can sit on the floor crisscross applesauce. But wherever you are, I want you to be safe. So look around, make sure you're not going to bump into anything. So I would like you to put your hands on the table or on your lap. I'd like you to close your eyes. I'd like you to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And you can do this a couple of times. I'd usually 3. And sometimes I yawn. Just like that. Can't help it. Got to do it. All right, breathe in, breathe out. In and out. I've calmed my body. I've calmed my mind. I don't have any worries about anything. I'm just going to focus on art right now. I open my eyes. I typically stretch out my hands, my arms, and I do some hand stretches. I do a couple of twists, real gentle. If anything hurts, I stop. I don't do it. I'm very gentle. Do a couple of shoulder shrugs, shoulder rolls. All right, now I'm ready to be in the studio and I'm ready to start drawing. And when I'm in the studio, I always get my sketchbook and I do a warm-up. And I typically draw geometric shapes just to get my brain going, just to get things going. And I use markers, I use crayons, I use colored pencils, all kinds of different things. But today, I'm going to show you a little fun trick. So we have our color wheel here, and I would like you to find 3 colors that are together on the color wheel. I used red violet, red, and red orange. So I found these 3 colors right next to each other on the color wheel, all 3 of them, and I drew geometric shapes. So I drew a square, that's kind of a rectangle, a square, rectangle, circle, a couple of triangles. And I only used those 3 colors. I like to choose my palette, and this helps me to think about color. And so just get the 3, draw some circles and squares and triangles. Then for the background, and I'll show you, I'm going to take the complementary colors. So I'm going to take yellow, green, and blue, green. And what I mean by complementary is they're the opposite color on the color wheel. So the opposite color for red violet is yellow, green. The opposite, or complementary is actually the better word, for red is green. And for red orange is blue, green. These are called complementary colors. And it's super important to know your complementary colors, especially when you go to art school. They will be talking about it a lot. So the complementary color of yellow is violet or purple. So what you do is you take your complementary colors. I'm going to take these 3. And after you've drawn your circles and squares and all your fun geometric shapes, what I'd like you to do is to take the complementary and maybe color in the circle. Fill up the page. I see a lot of students who will draw really, really tiny. There's plenty of room. So fill up the page. You can just color. And you can layer colors if you want and see what happens. A lot of times you learn what you really love. You learn, oh, I really love using complementary colors, or I really love using colors right next to each other on the color wheel. You find out what you really like. And as you can see, there's no erasing. Crayons don't erase. That's great. I see so many times students erasing, and they don't have a drawing by the end of class. So don't worry about erasing. Don't even bring an eraser with you for your sketchbook. Just enjoy yourself. All right. I would like you to warm up. I typically warm up, I say for students 2 or 3 minutes. For older students, 3 to 5 minutes. For grown-ups, I say 10 minutes. A good 10-minute warm-up for grown-ups is great. Whatever you want to do is great. All right, so what are we doing today? All right, we are drawing stuffed animals. This is Pink Bunny. Hi, Pink Bunny. Okay, that's one of them. And I have Sally here. And I also have Dancing Bear. You might say, Mrs. Moran, I am way too old to draw stuffed animals. And I'm going to say, I don't think so. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, have you ever watched Toy Story? The cartoon Toy Story by Pixar? Do you know who animated all those animated films? Artists, grown-up artists. They were drawing toys. They make a great living drawing toys. So I say we are not too old to draw stuffed animals. And then I even thought more about it. I thought, what about the people who work for toy companies? They're all adults and they have to draw toys for advertising. And then I thought, well, what about the guy who made Winnie the Pooh? A. Milne. Grown man drawing Winnie the Pooh, making a great living. So I have a huge respect for stuffed animals. For one thing, they're super cute. Oh my goodness. There's nothing cuter than this stuffed animal. Well, maybe this stuffed animal. And as you can see, I have Pink Bunny here. And Pink Bunny is really just made out of geometric shapes. Look here. Circle, oval, 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 circle. My stuffed animal is just a bunch of circles, and it's fantastic because then it doesn't stress me out so much. When I look at my stuffed animal and I think, oh, I have to draw this pink bunny, this is going to be so complicated. Then I look, she's a bunch of circles. Then I take a look at Sally. Look at Sally. Sally is a huge circle here, triangle, and her teeth are triangles. And I probably won't even draw her scarf. If it gets too complicated, I just don't draw it. I wait for another day and go back to it. Maybe today I won't draw the scarf. And then her little legs are just rectangles and her little body is just a rectangle. So Sally, you're actually just made up of geometric shapes. And look at her eye. Circle. Okay? So I'm not going to be too stressed out. What I would like to show you are some tricks how to draw a stuffed animal. And I drew some in my studio in my sketchbook. The first thing I do is I take a piece of white paper. Now remember how I took the white paper to put the fork and the orange to show the shadow? Same thing. So I will set my still life up. But look, you can't see it. So I'm just going to lay her flat. But you can see the shadow and you can see her so much better. There's also my beautiful little dancing bear. Okay, and so if I put her on a piece of paper, I can see her shadow. What I do is I sit them up just like this on a piece of paper. And sometimes I have to put a cup behind them so they don't fall over, just like that. And then I have a still life. And I usually set my still life far away from me, back. This is way too close. But I wanted to show you how to set up your stuffed animal still life. Now, some people do like to take it and hold their stuffed animal and draw. You can do that too. I'm giving options for what best fits what you like to do. I like to have them sitting up, okay? And feel free to use a cup or something for them to lean against so you can see them really good. Because when they're flat like this, it's kind of hard to see your stuffed animal. All right, so I'm going to show you some drawings that I did of my stuffed animals. Oh, did I tell you to go grab your stuffed animal? I think I forgot. Go get your stuffed animal. If you're like, Mrs. Moran, I'm too mature for stuffed animals, borrow maybe a stuffed animal from a younger student, or how about your young little cousin or your younger sibling. And what you could do is draw the stuffed animal and then give them the drawing. That would be a really nice way to show appreciation. And if you're like, there's 0 stuffed animals around here, grab another kind of toy. Cars are really good. Cars are a lot of geometric shapes. Blocks are really fun because you can add shadow to them. But whatever you get, put it on a white piece of paper so you can see the shadow and the colors even better. All right, so I'm going to show you what I drew in my sketchbook. So this is what I did here. So I took a graphite pencil and I took a pink crayon and a light pink crayon. And as you can see the lines here. And that's okay because I did not erase. As you can see on my pencils, I do not have an eraser. And when I draw my sketchbook, I typically don't use an eraser. I would like to talk a little bit about taking care of your colored pencils and your graphite pencils. A lot of schools have the kind of pencils that you grind. They're not so good. Use these kind of pencil sharpeners because what happens in those other pencil sharpeners is they take away too much graphite and too much of the pencil. So you see, you just need a little bit to sharpen it up. And I don't know about you, but I love a good sharp pencil. Not a lot of space. I mean, not a lot of pencil taken up. It's very nice. And then I just put this in the garbage. But these are what they're just little pencil shape sharpeners. You can find them anywhere. You might even have them in your classroom. All right, so for Pink Bunny, as you can see, I started with graphite and then I added color. And in the background, I added a little bit of blue for the shadow. All right, I think this one turned out really cute. I love her little bow. Let's see how it looks. Pretty good, pretty good. All right. And then what I did is I took marker, I still say pen and ink. I took marker and crayons and I came up with this one. And this one, she kind of looks like she's walking. So I thought that was super cute. I went ahead and put some blue behind her because I really love the idea of her being outside. And that was hinting at her being outside on a walk. Then I drew Dancing Bear, and I was not very happy with this one. Dancing Bear is just a circle, oval, 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 and a bunch of circles. But I didn't like it. I didn't think it turned out. So I did it again. Oh, so much better. As you can see in my sketchbook, I just keep trying. Sometimes the first one doesn't work out. It's okay. I just keep going. That's my goal, is just to draw. So the next one I did was Sally. So here's Sally, and I think she turned out really cute. But you're like, hey, Mrs. Moran, she doesn't have a scarf on. And this one I just used graphite. I know, I was a little intimidated by the scarf at the time. And so I just put some pearls on Sally. And I gave her some eyelashes just to make it a little bit more fun. And I didn't put as many legs in. I just went with 3. And that's okay. That's why it's super fun to draw, is you can make changes. But I did on the next one, just pen and ink. No erasing. I drew Sally with all the legs and the tail and the scarf. And I thought she turned out super cute. And I added some texture here. Look what I added. Hatching, 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 hatching. We learned about hatching in session 3. So if you want to learn more about details and you missed session 3, go back to session 3. So as you can see, I added some hatching over here. And I also added some really nice repetitive lines over here. And as you can see, Sally is triangle, 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 triangle for her teeth, circle, triangle, triangle. All right. I was thinking I could do a little demo for you, if that's okay. So I'm thinking I'm going to choose, let's see, I'm going to choose, I have a lot of art in my sketchbook. I am going to choose, Sally or Pink Bunny? I'm going to choose Pink Bunny. She's very tiny. I think she can fit here a lot better. So I'm going to choose Pink Bunny. And I'm actually just going to hold her just for this demonstration because I think it'd be easier for you folks. If she were far away, you wouldn't be able to see her. And also, if you don't have a stuffed animal with you, you can take a little time and draw Pink Bunny too. So I'm thinking, okay, Pink Bunny, you are a circle for your head, but your head isn't completely a circle. It has a little line, little squareness to it, which I really think is cute. Okay, and then I'm going to put her ears here. Actually, I'm going to put the ear here and ear here. And they're going to be ovals. Did I erase? No. Am I worried about mistakes? Not really. And then for her center body, I'm going to go like this, so I can center her face and her body. And I say she's a circle. Some people are going to say she's a square, whichever you prefer. And as you can see, I just make my circles over and over again. I don't typically go like this for a circle. Try it. It's not that easy to make a circle one time through. To make a really good circle, you have to go back over and over and over again. I didn't believe that until I went to art school and my teacher showed me that trick. I was like, oh, right. Circles are not that easy. I've been tracing circles like with lids and stuff. So some legs are going to go here. Arms are going to go here. I set things up typically with a line. Then I go back and make a shape. Some folks, they do the shapes only. They don't set up little lines. I need little markers to remind me of what I'm doing. Because sometimes I get a little too fast. I need to calm down. It's art. It's not a speed race. Okay. And then I go here and I'm like, oh, her little legs are just little ovals. Great, great. And a little body. So cute. And then I'm going to put a little line here to tell me where her eyes are. A little mark for her nose. She doesn't have a mouth, but I'm going to add one because I want to give her a little smile because she's just the happiest little stuffed animal out there. I think she should be in Toy Story 5 or 6 or whatever one they're doing now. And then I go back over, and what I typically do is I go around again just to kind of find out where the body is and the background is. And again, I do not have an eraser because I am not worrying too much about making mistakes in my sketchbook. This is about me practicing. And I think that helps me out a lot. I don't get so overwhelmed because I know I can draw again and again. If it doesn't work out, I just draw it again. And you can take your time. I feel like people are in a big race all the time in school and they have to do everything really fast. We're not doing anything fast. I typically put on music and I listen to music in the studio. I listen to pretty calm music. I'm not sure you folks would like it, but I love it. I like some calm music in the studio. Monet, the other art teacher, prefers loud music to draw to. So we have to compromise when we are in the studio together. That's what it's all about, compromise, I guess, when you're working with someone else. All right. So then what I do typically is I take a little break and I look at it. I look at my still life. What's missing? What's wrong? What do I not like? What should I change? Should I make the leg a little bit bigger here and a little bit bigger here? Yeah, maybe. And then I typically get my crayons out. And again, I keep my crayons in a really nice container. This is just a yogurt container, but it's nice for me because I don't like my materials to get broken. So I will take out a couple of crayons and I'm going to use pinks. I don't know if I have two kinds of pinks or yeah, I do. Oh, awesome. I have two kinds of pinks and I want to use a red, a couple of reds too. So I'll take out and I'll get my palette set up as well. So then I'll start thinking about color. I don't get all my colors out because then I start getting really, really overwhelmed. I just take out a few colors and then I start coloring. And then if I say, oh, you know what? Ooh, that is actually going to be the background. Like I have too much cheeks here, too much face here. I might go ahead and again go, well, I think my background is going to be a complementary color. So I get out my color wheel and I go, okay, I'm doing reds and pinks, so I'm going to do greens. Okay, or I could just choose blue because blue is a really nice, cool background color, but I'm going to go ahead and go with some complementary colors. So then I go, okay, well, I'm going to use blue, this blue-green, and make, okay, that makes her face a little bit not so, yeah, perfect, perfect. So then I just work around the piece. I don't just work in one spot and then finish it. I work around, and one reason I do that is you can take a minute to look back at your work, what's working, what's not working. If I did her face and just completed it, and I didn't look at the feet or the ears, I might have, I'll have some problems with composition. So it might not work as well. So go ahead, draw your stuffed animal with pencil if you like, and then you can add some crayon to it if you want. I think this is going to turn out really cute. I'm going to take this back to the studio and work on this later because our class is almost over again. I cannot believe it. These classes go by so fast. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we did and then say goodbye. So for this class, we discussed the color wheel again, which is very advanced. That is art school kind of color wheel talk. It's called color theory. So we talked about color wheel. We talked about complementary colors. Complementary colors, remember, are across from each other, complementary. If you have time, make your own color wheel if you can. That would be great because then you'll have it on hand anytime you need it for your sketchbooks. We drew stuffed animals. We talked about animators and illustrators, drawing stuffed animals as grown-ups, which they make a good living, so I'm all for it, okay? And what I would like you to do is fill up your sketchbook with stuffed animals. And if you say, Mrs. Moran, my sketchbook's already full from this week, build another one, make another one. In session 1, we learned how to make our own sketchbook. So go back to session 1 if you don't have a sketchbook and make one, make several. Make some for your friends. They make great gifts. So make sketchbooks, draw every single day, and fill up your sketchbooks. And just to let you know, the libraries around here have great books on how to have a really fulfilling or active sketchbook practice. And so I went to the library and I found some books, and they're all about ideas to draw in your sketchbook. So I really want you to draw as much as you can. And I would like to show you a couple of ideas in sketchbooks. So I don't want you to think you only have to draw what I draw, but I thought I would show you a few examples just to keep you motivated. So these are all abstract drawings. These are all pen and ink, and I used pen and ink, and I used marker, and I also used colored pencil and crayon, and I layered them. And this one I did, and I limited my palette to a purple marker, orange, purple, blue, and green. Okay. And then for this one, I made a bunch of circles. I had a great time. And I left all this white space. So you can do that too. You can, but take up the page, take up a page, take it up as much as you can. I guess we'll try to see tiny little drawings. And then I did this one here. And then what I did is I did this one here, and it made me think of like being on a farm. I called this one Wheat Growing in the Moonlight. And then here we have this one. Oh, it's upside down. I must have decided what side it was because I signed it. I don't always sign my work, but I thought this one needed a signature. And this one I used blue for the background just to kind of feel like space. I thought it turned out really cute. All right, so these are just ideas. You don't necessarily have to draw from life. You can just draw from your imagination, okay? So I can't believe it. Day 4, we're done. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you draw every single day, And thank you so much for letting me be your teaching artist. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.